What is going on, guys? Groge Gaming here. Welcome back to another Clash Royale video. I just want to say before we begin that I had a few issues with my audio. I've already recorded this, so this is just going to be a voiceover because the voice kind of aspect of the video didn't record. So I went to edit it and then realized, it hasn't picked up my voice at all. So this is just going to be a voiceover. So I'm sorry about that, but all my other videos should be back to live commentary. So yeah, apologies for that. But what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be taking a look at the Clan Wars feature, and I'm going to be doing my very first Clan Wars battle. And then we're also looking at perfecting the Clan Wars battle deck. So I'll be talking about various decks that I think will be good, and just kind of how to build a perfect deck for yourself, what synergizes well together, and how to just form decks that will be very strong and get you those victories in the Clan Wars battles. If we take a look at this war deck that I've thrown together, it is very good. It has a nice synergy. It's got a synergy between the Tombstone, the Inferno Dragon, and the minions. They all need zapping, so you can get value out of them all three separately. The one you want to get value out of is obviously the Inferno Dragon. That's going to kill the tanks very, very quickly. Then we've got the Knight to support and to tank for everything. So if you throw down some minions and a Knight on like a Wizard, if you do the Knight first, then the Knight is going to tank the damage, the minions will do the rest of the damage. So the Knight really helps bring the whole deck together and protect all of the other cards. You can use him on offense. So as you can see, it cycles pretty quickly too. It's got an Ice Spirit in there, and then it's got two assistant spells in the Fireball and the Zap, which kind of round the deck off, get you out of pretty sticky situations on defense, and then can also be used on offense very effectively. It's just a very valuable spell to have. Zap, obviously, so good in this meta, as always. So if we then take a look at the collection of cards that we've got, and maybe think about building a different deck, maybe a tank deck, we can see that we've got Giant, we've got P.E.K.K.A, we've got Royal Giant, but I think if we went for a Giant, that would be the best. It's level 7, so it's going to be pretty strong. And what you want to do with Giant decks and kind of tank beatdown decks is you have the main win condition, so the Golem, the Giant, the Lava Hound, and then you want supporting cards. You want good solid defensive cards that are going to do good damage. You also want supporting, you want the supporting spells that are going to help you get through and help you defend. So we've got to think about good combinations of cards that are going to win the game. So we've got the Giant. We're then going to want to throw a Prince in there because we know that combination is very, very good. And then you've got to think about what you want to throw in next. And obviously a Mega Minion springs to mind because it's very, very solid with Giant decks and obviously with Princes. Good DPS overall and a good supporting troop on top of a Giant to help it push through to the tower. Night Witch also very solid with the bats spawning, good DPS on defense. So we've got good solid DPS cards now, and then we just kind of need to round the deck off. You're going to want to throw a Fireball in there, and obviously a Zap. Those are the two best level cards for spells really. So you've got level 8 Fireball, level 10 Zap there. Those are going to be really helpful to get through. And then we just need to finish the deck off with a couple of defensive cards. So you've got guards that can catch princes and distract troops. And then you want an Ice Spirit to just finish the deck off. So as you can see with this deck, it's fairly cheap, so it cycles relatively well, and it's got good defense. It could maybe do with a little bit more air defense, but you do have the bats from the Night Witch, and you've also got the Mega Minion, the Ice Spirit, the Fireball, and the Zap, which can kind of help with the offense side of things. I mean, the flying troop kind of side of things. But overall, I think it looks like a very solid deck that could push through. You can get Night Witch, Prince, Giant pushes going with a Mega Minion on top, and I think those all kind of synergize very well together. So when you're building these tank decks, don't just go all offense. Don't just throw mini P.E.K.K.A, Prince, Hog Rider, don't just throw loads of those cards in there because they sound good. Make sure you've got a good overall kind of roundness to the deck. So that's why we've got the guards in there. That's why we've got the Ice Spirit in there. And that's why we've got the Mega Minion there. So they're the three kind of really, really solid defensive cards that you can rely on. Okay, next I've thrown together an Expo deck that I believe will work. So if we look at this deck, we've got the Ice Wizard and Tornado. Those are the two cards that stand out to me most. Those are the two defensive cards, as well as the Tombstone. So if you need to pull a Hog Rider with a Tombstone, you can do that. If you need to activate the King Tower with the Tornado, you can do that. If you need to distract Golems and then pull it back and get all supporting troops collected together to rocket it in with a Tornado, that is very doable with this deck. It's got a relatively good cycle, so that's why I've thrown in the Ice Spirit and the Goblins. Those two cards kind of synergize together well. Mega Minion just for solid defense. So overall, it's got a fairly balanced look to the deck. You could probably throw a Knight in there somewhere. just to help have a mini tank for the deck. So you might want to throw a knight in for the goblins, perhaps. That could work very, very well. So as you can see, we've looked at the offense of the deck. We've got the Expo, we've got the Rocket, and then we've looked at the defense. We've got the Tornado with the Ice Wizard and the Tombstone. So very, very solid overall. And then we've got this bridge spam deck, which... so if you're trying to build a bridge spam deck, then you obviously want a good solid defense with the P.E.K.K.A. And the Knight Witch is also good on defense with the Ice Spirit. Minions are good on defense. Ice Wizard obviously kind of works in there. So this deck has good potential. You can go for a Battle Ram Minions push. That is very, very effective at punishing. But also you can have good counter push potential with the P.E.K.K.A. and then a Night Witch and Minions behind it. Maybe pressure opposite lane with the Battle Ram. So those all synergize very well together. Obviously Fireball and Zap as our assistant spells again. Anyway, it's time to jump into my war battle, and this is the deck that I've decided to go for. So, as you can see, a pretty good synergy between the cards. We've got the Inferno Dragon, the Goblins, the Minions, and the Tombstone as Zap bait or log bait, that kind of thing. Kind of the baity aspect in there that is really going to bring the deck together. Fireball and Zap, assistant spells. Hog on offense, Knight as a mini tank. So this is a very solid overall deck. And as you can see from all of the decks that I've shown, they all have these 2 assistant spells. They all have a good offensive win condition. They all have the supporting troops that synergize well together. They also either have a good DPS card or a good structure to kind of kill tanks, and then they usually have a mini tank, if it's a cycle deck especially, to kind of to help all of the defensive cards bring those together. Okay, we're going to jump into the first war battle for me, and obviously this is a voiceover because I lost the audio, as you know. So you have to excuse that, but I'll do my best to kind of talk over the gameplay as we go. So, pretty good starting hand. As you can see, I've got the Knight, the Goblins, Fireball, and Zap. He's going to go for a Royal Ghost at the bridge, and a little bit of a nerves thing here. As I was playing my first war game, I shouldn't have zapped those Fire Spirits. They would have died because they're level 7, and my tower's level 9, so they get taken out. Obviously not going too aggressive. We're seeing that he's got a few lower level cards right now. Goes very, very aggressive with the Golem. So I'm going to place a Tombstone down. And then you kind of see the synergy between the deck. I don't even think I use the Inferno Dragon. I'm just going to use the Minions and the Knight. So the Minions do a good damage to the mini P.E.K.K.A. there, and the Knight cleans it up. Then all of these other cards are just very effective. They just get the job done on the Golem, and that's it. So Golem goes down, and then we've got a very big counter push coming. I'm going to zap the guards so that we get the value we need from the Hog Rider and the Goblins. And then I'm pretty sure the tower almost goes down, or maybe it does go down. Yeah, so first counter push of the game, we've got the tower, which is pretty crazy. This guy just going too aggressive. As you can see, at 3,400 trophies, so there's quite a skill difference, or kind of skill gap in the 2 players. I know it's myself. I'm talking like it's someone else, but you can just kind of see that he's going too aggressive, and I'm just playing it very, very safe, which I obviously recommend doing. So this is a pretty easy defense again. I think I just use a Knight. I'm pretty sure that's all I need. Yeah, and then he throws a mini P.E.K.K.A. at the bridge, so Tombstone is going to clean that up. I'm not worried about using my Tombstone on the mini P.E.K.K.A. because I've got the Inferno Dragon if he goes with a Golem. Going to use the skeletons from the Tombstone as well as some Goblins in this push. And then going to zap the guards again because they're fairly weak at level 3, so I know I can get additional damage with the zap. You can see a few Goblins, the Goblins getting a few stabs and the Skeletons getting a few hits in there too. So at this point, just playing it safe, just cycling, making sure I get my defensive structure down in the Tombstone. So that's going to be the next thing, and that's going to be the first thing back in cycle. After we cycle through 4 cards. He goes very aggressive. I'm not really sure what he's trying to do. As you can see, he kind of spams a Royal Ghost at the bridge on the left whilst trying to build up a big Golem push. We're going to get good zap value over there, and obviously then cycle back to another Tombstone. So we've got 2 Tombstones, so we don't really need to worry about the Golem getting through. That's going to get completely distracted. Minions are coming in on top. Then we've cycled back to another Inferno Dragon for the balloon. And at this point, as you can see, my clan members are just BMing. We're going to push through and try and take the second tower, which I'm pretty sure we do. So yeah, the counter push potential is good in this deck, but it mainly works as a chip deck. Kind of a punish deck if you need to with the Hog and Minions. Very solid overall though, and yeah, easy win for my very first war battle, my very first war victory, which is cool. So as you can see, Stealth UK absolutely cleaning up. We got 15 wins. I think that's from 19 games, which is really good. So I'm interested to see what the rewards are going to be. I'm not sure. I guess the higher your clan gets in these war battles, the more trophies it gains from that. Or I don't know if they're trophies or what. And then the more rewards you will get. So guys, that is going to do it for today. We did my first war battle and we talked about perfecting these battle decks for war. I hope it's helped you. If you do need some extra help, then let me know in the comment section down below. I will try and help you out with the decks. Either way, hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe to join the Groge gang. And then I'll see you guys next time. Peace.